Breaking news from Gloucester County right now. A judge increased jail time for Brian and Shannon Gore. They were sentenced for abusing their infant son, Connor, who died.
The couple is already serving 30 years for locking their daughter in a cage and nearly starving her to death. 10 Your Side's Lex Gray was in court this morning.
Now, Lex, you say the additional time will be added to the time they're already serving.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie and Don. As you mentioned, Brian and Shannon Gore are already in prison. That's for abusing their six-year-old daughter, locking her in a cage and nearly starving her to death. Today, a judge sentenced them in the abuse of their 7-month-old son, Connor. Authorities found him buried in their backyard. Back in 2011, prosecutors charged the couple with murder in his death since forensic scientists said he was badly malnourished. A judge dropped those charges but found them guilty in May of child neglect. Today, they were both sentenced to 10 years in prison, but most of that was suspended. Brian Gore will serve 4 years and 9 months in addition to his 30 years. Shannon Gore will serve 3 years on top of her 30. That's a sentence her defense attorney called fair and reasonable. He also called this case mentally stressful and says that, like the judge, he still doesn't understand what went wrong.
I don't think anybody who looks at the facts of both cases, I don't know that there is an explanation. It's hard to understand, quite honestly, and so I don't know that anybody, as the judge said, will really have a full understanding or explanation how these events really occurred.
Now, attorneys for both of the Gores said it's possible they could file appeals in that guilty verdict, but they haven't decided yet. Coming up on Wavy News 10 at 4, you'll hear from Brian Gore's attorney on what his client is hoping for. Live in Gloucester County, I'm Lex Gray, 10 on your side.